Hi everyone, welcome to Pokemon Spectrum vlog number 12. And yeah, we got a lot talked about.
Yes.
Yep, as always. Start from the beginning.
And watch us all go, what happened first again?
It is sort of blurry, to be honest.
Well, we started
Before we start,
City.
A lot of scenes.
Oh, you were in Cresselia. Tiffany delivered some news.
Mhm.
Yes.
Sadly,
took
no
it
more
very
Kyle in a
well.
towel.
Yeah, he put his uniform back on.
Remember, don't ask him for anything until you take off his uniform.
Yeah, that's true. Don't ask him anything until he takes his uniform off.
You took the
Wow.
date
Wow.
invitation well.
Exactly.
Took it very well.
And now I'm just, how bad is this going to go if choose the short one goes where I think it's going to go? Cresselia wants to hook up with someone else. As I'm pretty sure all three of the other people Tiffany might be interested in are a little shorter than Kyle.
Jeez. Well, what's first then? What do we want to get into?
I think
Molly
Tiffany,
not taking news well.
yeah.
Tiffany
And-
tried.
It's funny because I actually had an idea where if Molly, like if Tiffany had offered to go shopping with Molly, and if she had decided to wait until maybe after the date with Dr. Pearl, then I think Molly would have taken it a bit better. As it is, as it is, yeah. I was like, okay, she's passing out. She's not taking this well.
No.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Tiffany is more, let's just get the issue out in the open. Let's address it. Everyone's here.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And now Molly's mad at the gods.
So is
Yeah.
Tiffany, but she's been that way from the start.
And you ruined everyone's sleep.
Also,
it
not
makes,
it.
makes perfect
But
sense.
that's later.
You're mad at the gods. The gods can be mad at you. It can go both ways. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wonder when Molly will get a lovely scene with the madam.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Oh yeah,
Oh, are we all getting that?
Molly hasn't had a scene with the madam yet.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true. That needs to happen too.
That'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just go wandering off on your own. She'll find you.
She'll show up on date night, don't worry.
Oh,
Yes.
She will look across at Dr. Pearl. You two will adopt many beautiful children. Trust me.
Yes. So you found out that Madame Vu was never actually there physically. You saw her there, but she wasn't actually there.
Yeah.
Mostly because she doesn't actually exist.
But she was able to be
Although-
hugged.
And Lux
She
was able to
to
poke
be
her.
hugged only because Chase believes that he's hugging her.
So she's like Santa.
She sees you when you're sleeping. She knows when you're awake.
She
knows
believes
if you've been
she
bad
exists
or
if we
good.
believe she exists.
So I guess that means Lux also believes in her. Weird.
Do you want me to give some insight on Deja Vu? Do you want me to right now?
I
sure.
mean, I'll admit I'm curious because all my theories went out the window.
So, okay, so this is going to involve Mass Effect Tabletop Campaign spoilers.
Oh,
That's
Mass
the only
Effect,
thing.
man. I looked up Dragon Age devotion. I was on the right track.
Well, it's
I-
related to Dragon Age as well.
Yes.
It's
Oh.
related to both.
Yay!
So I'm just gonna put a warning out there, spoiler warning. So
Uh-oh.
I know it's a
Spirit
side
of
quest in
devotion.
Inquisition.
Uh-oh.
the spirit of
Oh.
devotion is a spirit that is from the Dragon Age universe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep.
And in the Mass Effect campaign, they found out that a spirit of devotion ended up in their universe,
Mm-hmm.
in the Mass Effect universe.
Mm-hmm.
So,
No bueno.
so the spirit of devotion turns into something, and I'm not gonna say what that something is because I don't need to, but just it turns into something.
A dragon.
So, sure.
Oh, jeez.
So if I'm sure people who have watched both campaigns are probably have a lot of questions. Hold on to those questions because I'm not going to answer them yet because they probably will not be answered until later. But at any rate, is this Madame Vu the same devotion that was referenced in the Dragon Age and Mass Effect campaign? You may or may not get confirmation later.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
I think I have a.
I'll just trust you
I
guys.
think I have an idea how she might get to those places again.
What's
if
your idea?
This is
Do you want to give your theory?
Yes, share.
well, Noir's known to have trouble across worlds before. Knowing that, she might hitch a ride somehow, which would have consequences.
Are we saying that Hoopa has visited the Dragon Age universe?
Why not?
Well, yeah.
I don't know if
Dimension
it's
travel.
Hoopa is a Pokemon that's known to travel different worlds. Yes, parallel worlds.
Exactly.
Yes.
So that's why Chase asked about the Noir question. He was trying to dig into the potential that this thing from another world likely came in through with Noir and would know something. But
Yeah.
he wasn't going to dig any deeper. Doesn't need to.
As a spirit of devotion, when she was the spirit of devotion, or it was the spirit of devotion, it was devoted to seeing the beyond, seeing the truth, getting the truth. And so it lived in the Fade, and it was devoted to finding out what was beyond the Fade, seeking the truth of what lies beyond the Fade. So the spirit of devotion kept going further and further and further and further and further and further until the boundaries of the Fade. And it believed it ended up finding the quote-unquote boundary of the Fade if something existed. And it just kept trying to force its way out. It was so devoted into finding out what's next, what's just beyond, what's the truth beyond. Until finally, with a little help from Cresselia, it allowed it to cross over. So in the Dragon Age world, there is a dream zone, which we refer to as the Fade. In the Pokemon universe, that is simply just known as the Dream Zone. So if you could physically, if you could think of it that way, if there was some sort of a barrier between the Pokemon and the Dragon Age world, then the spirit of devotion crossed over into the Dream Zone. And because it's a spirit, it'll manifest itself as whatever you want to call it as in the Dream Zone, and it was then able to appear in people's dreams, but not in real life. She can't. Spirits don't have flesh, for example, in the Dragon Age universe. Therefore, this particular incarnation does not have flesh and cannot actually exist outside of dreams. But she can manifest herself to you while you're awake, almost like you're daydreaming, almost like an illusion, basically, and communicate with you that way. So that is her personal ties to Cresselia. She's not Cresselia herself, but she, as soon as she came into this universe, she gained new gifts in the form of psychic abilities, of being able to see the beyond and to learn the truth about certain things. But even Deja Vu doesn't know everything. Like she says, she can see the beginning and the end, and the stuff in between is muddled, but she can see glimpses of the stuffs in between and sort of catch on to, maybe I should pay more attention to that, or maybe I should push these buttons here, and maybe that'll get me to where I'm envisioning myself to be later on. So that's what's going on with her character at the moment. How it ties with you all, I mean, that is to be decided right now. Hopefully that clears up something, but...
On a meta level.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because everything is intertwined somehow within the expanded universe.
Right.
Everything's connected somehow.
Anyway,
back to our story.
Yes. So, flight back. After Molly not taking news well. Also, very happy she did not run. I did not want Tiffany to try tackling her because I'm pretty sure she'd fail.
It's an
Yeah, I don't
opposed
think-
acrobat check, by the way.
I have a 1. No, I have a 2. Never mind. I'm pretty sure I'd still lose.
Yeah, Molly wouldn't have tried to run. She wasn't trying to run originally. She was like panicked and trying to get back as fast as possible. But that was before she was thinking clearly. So yeah. It's now
And Tiffany, no, I will get to door. No.
yeah, she wouldn't have tried to climb out the window or anything in the bathroom.
I mean, like Stewie Griffin, and then running for a taxi, and then taking a taxi to a plane, and then flying across the country. Yeah. So
Yeah.
the scenario of having 2 options that were going to basically come into play was something that Riz and I spent a good portion of our nights talking about during the week.
That's
some
right.
sleep over.
You could have shared this in chat. No one to play.
It was you don't want hours of conversation between Riz and I. Honestly, like that's not gonna.
Yes,
I mean,
do.
if you do, you're free to message me.
Cool.
We
It-
can,
you
I
guys
just
are
assumed,
like
you know, we'd use
crazy.
the main chat channel. So
we
Yeah,
didn't
but
want to clutter.
it would have cluttered it. Yeah,
I
but in
don't
any
care.
case, it's the idea.
That's why we
that-
have it.
Yeah, but then you know what will happen is that if someone signs on and then sees 300 messages or 400 messages, you're not going to scroll up and see the first
I will.
50. You know what I mean?
I'm a dork
So-
with no life. Of course I will.
I would.
Nice. Oh,
Thank
geez.
you.
I would.
Anyway,
She,
Maybe not so much the new people that came into the channel.
ooh, that would scare them off. But yeah,
That
No,
or
just the
they should have
idea
their
that-
own room. We'll see.
we were bound to be confronted with that decision where you had to take one or the other, and it was going to be Molly or something else was what we were talking
and I was like, it's not going to be anything involving Cassie's story because she's got her
She's safe.
dad's
She doesn't-
mystery under control.
You have something under control. No.
I have that
Illusion.
under control,
Illusion
just not
of
the
control.
other bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I figured that it wouldn't be that clear cut. Like I
Mhm.
knew when it came up that no, there's no way it's going to be that simple. And I'm pretty glad because it opens up a lot of opportunities. for
But I figured Molly
Molly's
would
story.
insist upon going even if it were alone.
Yeah,
Which
like
isn't gonna happen.
yeah, like
Yeah.
her thing is she does really want to go. I mean, obviously she really wants to go. And the stuff with Cassie, honestly, she's not sure how everyone's going to be able to help Cassie in that case. But at the same time, she knows like if we split up the group, yes, Chase was right. They are weaker when they're split apart. But yeah, she's going through a storm of emotion at the moment.
So
Yeah.
just out of character, as the players, how would you want to, if you took yourself out of your character's shoes for a moment
Mhm.
and just looked at this as a game, how would you want to deal with this situation? Would you want everybody to do one and then everyone to the other, or do you actually want to split the group in two somehow? If we were to split the group in two, how would we do that? Because I'm open to suggestions. I don't know. I'm open to suggestions if you decide to split the group. But go ahead. What were you gonna say, Riz?
I was going to say, if this were Wolf Among Us, I think my choice would be everyone go to rockets, like, you know, what Chase was suggesting, because I do think that splitting up is really dangerous in either scenario. And I think that the consequences, or at least the potential consequences, are a lot lesser in Johto for like taking our time, because that's, you know, a whole year has passed.
A whole year has passed.
Yeah.
And it's a
And so
country.
any threat that could still exist. I mean, it's still possible that her parents are alive and missing 3 days they could die. You know, that's possible.
Possible.
But when, you know, you have a year compared to like the 3 days and then that one trip to the rocket hideout.
Yeah.
Did you guys think that you would be ready to go to Joe, taking away the Cassie thing, if that wasn't a thing? Did you think that you would be ready and prepared to go to Johto in 3 days?
No.
Probably
Only
not.
because
No.
I want time to make costumes, darn it. This is literally what
Realistically,
my class does.
Yeah, because
I can make
realistically, I
stuff.
don't think it would have been smart for you to jump in 3 days later to Johto. That's just me personally. I was like, I don't know.
No, I would
think
say
you need
like
more-
2.5 week period, prep.
We would need
So
to
I
do
think
a lot
that,
of prepping.
Let Kyle's Ranger friend do their stuff.
So I think what Deja Vu's question is valid then. Would you prefer to be in the dark and not be informed of things? Would you prefer not to know that things have consequences and not to know that one necessarily matters? Or would you prefer being informed?
I'd absolutely prefer being informed.
Okay.
I mean, like,
Because that decision might have been less painful if you just didn't know. If you were
that's
just
the thing, though.
blissfully
It's
naive.
just pain. Like, whether we're aware of it or not, the consequences exist. It's just a matter we're
True.
here. We can actually apply
Yeah.
reasoning and prepare ourselves. It's not that
You're
it's
doing a
easy.
good job so far.
Yeah.
Hey, we were doing okay until we got booted out.
And I'm still surprised it wasn't Tiffany. Oh, Molly.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. The argument could have been made that if you guys didn't know that it mattered, all you know is that it matters what order you do it in, not what the consequences of it are, that it just mattered. So have you not known that it would have mattered, would you guys have been quick? Would Molly have been so quick to try to jump in and try to go to Johto in 3 days?
Nope.
I don't think she would have. So
She wouldn't have, and she knows. She definitely knows it's not possible. But with the all the emotions going through her right now, like she definitely feels directly responsible for her foster family being in Johto. So if not in 3 days, then she would have definitely at least tried, maybe within a couple weeks or so. Like she wants to get over
that
there.
That does make more sense. Yes.
Yeah, and she knows it's not possible. But now that there's 3 days a possible, there's a 3 days where they might not be able to even prepare for Johto. They have to prepare to help Cassie,
Going on a date.
and also going on the date.
Cassie's not going on
Priorities.
Yes,
for
yes,
her.
Cassie is. And Chase, get on asking Noir. Come on. Group.
If you actually, that would take a lot of convincing at this point.
Team
Yeah,
building.
Yeah, and for Molly, it's like that's the for her now the clock has started, and it doesn't matter whether it's 3 days or 2 weeks. That just means time is passing, and she wants to get over there as soon as possible. And she knows
Yeah.
it's not. She knows it's not logically possible, but it's just how her emotions are driving her right now.
Right, because the whole thing is like an emotional person that's just been recently hurt. Like that's the whole talk about emotion versus logic, right? And relationships go through this all the time. So if you see every character as just like having a relationship with these mythical beings that are giving us things, like even though like a parent could be telling you, hey, don't ride your bike down that hill because there's a lot of trees near the path that, and if you can go mountain biking, but you might hit one of those trees, and the parent will keep saying that, and to the point where it pisses you off, and you're going to go down the path anyways, then you're going to slam into a tree, right? And then you're going to be pissed, right?
Yeah.
But so you're going to start reacting with emotion instead of saying, well, maybe I should have prepared better because my parents kept warning me, right? So and these examples exist everywhere. So it's completely reasonable that emotion is guiding someone like Molly right now. I mean, Chase was being guided by that with the orphanage, and then a sacrifice was made, right? But he's motivated by different conditions that will allow him to, just like what he was saying to Deja Vu, like things go wrong all the time. And it's at the end of the day, it's like, how do you come out of these things after? It's not so much, you don't want to be owned and controlled by the thing that went wrong. You want to be able to get control over it, and then you want to be able to seek truth and become someone that you're entitled to become, like by choice, right? So I think that's where I didn't anticipate like even going down on his knees, but like for me, it's like Deja Vu represents the thing he's seeking, right? And when she said devotion, it's like, well, he wasn't religious. He was an atheist, if anything, too, right? But at the end of the day, here we are getting powers. Here we are able to do things like sleep, like dream together, and he doesn't get it, and he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He doesn't want the answers of how it's working. He just understands something is working, and he needs to, he needs to embrace that. And he, in his head, he needs to convince everyone else that they have to embrace it. He doesn't want to force them, but he certainly wants them to come to their own terms, because he believes in every person coming to their own terms and, finding out who they need to be. So if that means Molly loses her parents because we go to Rocket first, then in his head, he's like, well, she needs to understand that's a possibility, but make that choice and own it. Have some agency.
And like, if that does happen, whose fault is it? Like, whose fault actually is it? Is it the god's fault that happens?
Or the person who ran away,
Molly's
or the person
fault?
who didn't call the mother a month ago, or the
yeah. Whose fault is it actually? I think when Molly, yes, sure, the gods, you could say, were being petty, but if you were looking at like Shay was saying, if you were looking at it, the gods have been trying to help you guys out and have been trying to give you all these nice gifts. Being able to heal yourself in fire may or may not help you in Johto, or not take damage from lightning may or may not help you in Johto.
Right.
Or Team
You
Rocket.
think you've been giving us a lot of healing powers for a reason?
a lot of Pokemon in Johto.
That's exactly what I'm probably implying.
It's the one thing Chase
I'm
isn't good
probably
against.
implying that. Yes. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, I'm just going to blame them for all of the horrible things that are happening, even though this entire time they've been trying to give you things. So yeah, they're ticked off, and yeah, they're going to kick you out because
they're ticked off
angry
at Molly.
Yeah.
We didn't
but if they're but if you guys are a group, which is what the gods see you as, they're going to treat you as a group. If one of you decides to peace out, you all are in the same boat. It's sort of like when the technique, I know some people don't like this particular technique, but like in a classroom, if one student's acting up, the entire class gets punished. So it's the same way.
Where someone wise once said, the things aren't always so binary.
Somebody said things aren't so binary, and I think that there's a little hint that she was trying to say that yes, it matters, but it doesn't necessarily mean they matter equally.
I think she flat out said that.
She did? Okay. Yeah. She flat out said it matters, but it doesn't necessarily matter.
I think that's what she means. Well, that's what she said, so that makes sense.
Oh, Riz. Always a smart
So, now that we've jumped
Okay.
far ahead.
At this stage, I'm not even sure that going to Johto first would be. I'm not. I think that might be a bad consequence if that one's first, and maybe it would be a better consequence if it's second, because preparation time and stuff.
Yeah.
But,
From looking at it subjectively, the decision between going to Castelia City right away versus stopping to help Madison. Me as a GM, I felt you made the right choice of helping Madison out, because if you did go to Castelia City first, then you would have been able to have the opportunity to prevent the theft of the plate. But if you decided for Madison to be like SOL, then you would not have been able. You probably would have a much harder time recruiting her into your group, which means she would not have been able to help Cassie right now as much as she did. She gave Cassie a lot of information that the useless Officer Jenny's weren't able to give her.
Sassy Cassie strikes again.
And Rotim probably would have had a much more lethal end if you did not go after him first. So it mattered which way you went, but going with Madison first was probably the lesser evil of the two, in my opinion, as a GM, probably.
Because we'll get the plates in the end anyway, and we don't care about that manner, dude.
I don't care if that plate
Oh, and
gets.
servants, they didn't matter. Like,
That
they didn't have
plate's just
family.
gonna-
Yeah,
We
that
didn't
person
know
that
that.
knew Tiffany's mom. Psh, not
Oh
important.
yeah, I mean, not important. All these plates that they're collecting, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not gonna do anything.
It'll be fine. Don't worry.
Yeah. Just leaving Cassie's house alone where the iron plate might be probably has no side effects.
Yeah, we still have no
So-
idea where that is, whether it's in the house or, I mean, it could be like on display, but kind of inconspicuously, or really well hidden, or
What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
the plate. has
Oh
to do with
yes,
Cassie.
about that plate. Yes.
Yeah. Like, we
You
don't
did
know.
look for it and you were home.
Yeah, she had other things on her mind.
She had other things. Yes. So, do you guys have an idea of what your group is going to want to do? I guess.
Rocket.
Tiffany
mean-
doesn't care, just let's do something.
Okay.
Is more where she's at. Whatever they decide, let's go.
Like, I'm
Okay.
sure Roma and I don't want to be those people, but I think that Cassie is set on going to Rocket and Molly is set on going to Johto.
And there's just
I don't
you
know
just have to
how-
figure out how to convince. Yeah.
I mean, and Cassie, like, she's not asking Molly to come with her. You know, she's not asking anyone to come with her. She absolutely understands at this point.
Yeah, and Molly is not asking Cassie to abandon her mom. Like
Yeah.
Molly has been prepared from the beginning. As soon as she was prepared to go by herself on foot if she needed to. Like she knows the consequences for doing that would be very bad for her. I mean, she knows she could die, but in her mind, like this is what she needs to do. This is how she needs to basically make amends with what she did. Because again, she totally blames herself. And I mentioned in Discord that I've been toying with the idea of Molly going down a very dark path. And
Mhm.
if this goes badly, that could definitely happen. I'm not
Mhm.
saying full on villain or anything, but I am playing with some ideas where I don't think the others would be able to help her as much.
Mhm.
Aw. All the
Dark moon
hugs.
rises.
The dark moon rises, yes.
The dark moon rises.
So I'm as a player, I'm very excited. As a character, though, Molly is extremely distressed about all of this. Like this is going to be really hard on her until this whole thing is over.
Mhm.
Yeah. And this entire time, I thought that it was Chase who was going to have like the biggest issues, but he's fine in comparison to
Like
everybody
awesome
else.
right now.
Like, I got my issues
all new
figured
world.
out.
Yeah, because you got to use like a magical god item.
Hey.
You got best end.
Yeah.
He
He's
gets
good to
he
know.
gets the good ending. Other characters get the bad
Aw.
ending.
Well, see,
Question
that's
for
a
Riz.
nice
Oh, go ahead.
thing.
Yeah.
It's kind
I
of
was
a
gonna
nice
say-
thing.
Do
about
we
being an
though
orc.
really do a towel? I'm saying.
Well, I missed all of that. There was a lot of noise happening in my headset. Yeah, I'm just gonna say though, it's like I don't think that he's got an ending yet. I feel like there's still something that I'm not aware of. I'm just not touching on it right now because he's happy enough right now and he's gonna take his wins. But there's a huge, in my opinion, there's a huge thing he doesn't know yet, and it's all relevant to our scenario here about parents. To be honest, right? Like where we all have parent issues. Right.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, we do.
Madison does too, apparently.
So it becomes perspective, and it's just yeah, I like the idea that each character sort of has their approach to, like their reaction, like their personality has an effect on how they deal with this, how they push forward.
There were different reactions in this one, yes.
Even Felicity had a reaction too. About you guys going to Johto specifically.
Yeah.
She had her own perspective of things. So,
That's some interesting conversations.
hmm.
Yeah, Trenton's in charge of Tiffany's will, so
Jesus.
You know, I am really glad that we were able to involve the NPCs as much as we did this session.
yeah.
Like I feel like a lot of us actually had very good conversations with just the NPC characters, not with each other. as the player characters, which I really enjoyed.
So do we think? Okay, so it's sounding like as players, you guys are leaning towards Team Rocket. It sounds like.
Yep.
So now,
Are we?
That's what it's sounding like, unless
Okay.
anybody's disagreeing with me.
I thought we still had a split going, but if I'm wrong, please correct me. Yeah.
Well, Roma, as a player, like, what did you want to do as a player and not as Molly?
As a player, I do think Team Rocket is better.
Yeah.
As Molly, though, she will take some convincing.
So we just have to figure it out, and we don't have to do this right now. But I recommend that it's actually not a bad idea for you guys to discuss how can we get Molly to come around in order to convince her to go to Team Rocket first.
We drug her.
And then drug her. Okay.
Chase, use
Maybe
your
you should-
connections. Come on.
Fern has to go back into the city, the Winter
Oh,
City
God.
again,
Yes.
and see if she can
Oh,
steal
God.
some stuff.
Find
Steal
Mr.
some stuff
Frost
from
again.
Robert Frost.
Yeah, to be fair though, Molly knows that everything they're saying is true. It would be beneficial to go to Team Rocket first. But at the same time, that's logical, and she's
Right.
running very high on emotion right now.
Do you think that at this low point, Molly would think to get some help from a certain someone that she has a lot of trust in, that she normally goes to when she's having issues and needs somebody to talk to about said issues?
Can you stop being so
Someone that
cryptic?
she might have a date with.
Man, I don't know. Do you guys have any idea who he's talking about?
Somebody that you probably wanted to talk to anyway.
Cassie's
about-
mom.
Oh, then we have to
Cassie's
go
mom.
to
You should talk
Rocket
to
first.
Cassie's mom. Hence, we should go to Team Rocket so you can talk to Cassie's mom.
Oh,
Figured it
Molly
out.
really has total
Oh
trust. in her.
God.
Yeah, I definitely think she would want to talk to Dr. Pearl. I think like she mentioned to Tiffany, she really does want a moment of normalcy. So I do think that her going on a date with the doctor, like not just
Yes.
as doctor and patient, but just as friends, I do think that would be very good for her psyche, definitely.
So
But-
maybe we
Cool.
can convince maybe somebody who has the best rapport with Molly can convince her to go out.
Like
Somebody's got
go-
to eat. You got to eat at some point, girl. So why don't you eat with some friends and
Yeah, I feel like Tiffany's already gonna keep pushing for that. Correct me if I'm
Yes.
wrong? Okay, yeah.
I have my own
so maybe
agenda
that
as
might
well.
that might be a way to start to
Like,
convince-
seriously, if you're not there the next day, she is calling you.
Yeah, she'll
Come over. We need to outfit plan. I have stuff on my bed. Get here.
she'll
You
be there. She'll
Start
be in
talking to Bullet. Convince him to get here.
yeah, she'll be in a bit of a lower mood, but yeah, even after getting the news, even after getting that bad news, like the idea of doing something somewhat that normal people do, it was enough to bring her kind of back into a good mood again. And then the stuff with Cassie's mom happened, and now she's back down. And she got mad at the gods, and the gods are mad at her.
Yeah.
But not mad at the atheist, so cool. Or maybe they are, but Molly's just a bigger target.
I don't think they care whether
Okay.
you think of them as gods or not, Tiffany.
Right.
I think they just care if you blame them for
Right.
everything. I don't think they care.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't blame them. She just doesn't like them interrupting her life.
Well, you know.
I definitely appreciate the powers. Those seem pretty cool.
We haven't got
Yeah,
to
there
use
might
them
not-
yet. I think
We
Chase
did.
has
We
used
used
the resurrection
one.
once.
Not resurrection, healing.
Healing from
Well,
negatives, yeah.
You know what I meant.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you can. I mean, you're either going to a place that is completely overridden with Pokemon, dangerous Pokemon, or you're going into a terrorist like hideout. So I don't know. Maybe you might. find
Pokemon
them
love
What-
Tiffany.
what
Just
could go-
so good with her grooming kit
could
and
go
you.
wrong?
She'll be fine.
I just know
can
that Chase
root for
has
you, and so
loads of other intimidation methods for sure. Like I'm bringing some gasoline with me and a Zippo, and I'm ready to intimidate the crap out of people like a flaming man.
So this is
Cassie
gonna be Princess Bride then. How they make their way.
Wow.
I'm glad you guys.
Cassie
get
gonna
that.
go ahead.
The only
was
thing
done.
I'm really the only thing I'm really concerned about, is with the whole like come alone thing, and it's like, how can we help in the same thing? Like,
Yeah.
it's very
Yeah,
hard
Cassie
to think
has
of
no
ways
idea.
that the
This is
word.
why we have 3 days to plan and go on dates.
And yeah, I as a player, I'm not trying to push you guys away, of course, but she just thinks with the whole go alone thing that
Yeah.
if she shows up with other people, the terrible things are
Yeah,
gonna happen.
Chase, he's good at stealth. He's practically Batman. Come on.
It actually crossed my mind, like Chase and Molly, but Molly's
not good at stealth. If you've noticed,
Lex
Chase
is good at stealth.
directly at him.
Molly's quite good
Hasn't
at
tried.
stealth.
That's
Okay,
actually-
Molly, you Lux, let's go.
Molly's a ninja.
Molly's a ninja. Yep.
Chase is just gonna walk up to Team Rocket's door and knock. I don't know what you guys are doing.
That's Cassie's
Stopping
plan.
you from knocking? Or
Probably like chase after
Is
you.
Chase
know.
going to try to join them?
He would. That's exactly his plan. Yeah.
Interesting.
oh, this is gonna be a fun plan session.
Wait, his plan is to try to join Team Rocket
Yeah.
like before the 3 days are up. So
Yeah, you guys are gonna be planning and making uniforms and crap, and he's gonna sneak off. He's gonna go to the location, and he's gonna say, "I want to join."
Interesting. So you and possibly other people will join Team Rocket separate from Cassie appearing. So you will just happen to be in the hideout, joining Team Rocket just when Cassie's coming along. Is that what you're planning? Because that sounds like a really interesting plan.
I was
you
hoping
guys
if
try
I
to-
get
Oh,
in
Lordy.
there, then
Well,
I
how's
would
your
have
guile?
access to a phone because they'd give me one, like they gave Cassie a phone,
That's true.
and then I'd call them and say, "By the way, come when you're ready."
That's a pretty cool idea. If
Who is
If
this
it works,
unknown
right?
number? Delete.
okay, yeah. If all four of you,
That's
if
true.
4 of you minus Cassie join Team Rocket
because
within the next 3
they
days,
do have recruitments open. It wouldn't be like out of the blue.
yeah, they do have recruitments open. So
Molly,
I mean,
Molly did used to be a thief. I mean,
yeah,
that seems to be their
like
thing.
I can, yeah. And
Tiffany has a
Tiffany-
girl of social connections.
Yeah, they need somebody who,
Oh, I
at-
can get you
at
into
least-
that party, sweetie. No problem. Give me.
Exactly. And then I mean, Noir is psychic. So I mean, hey,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
Come over.
you guys would be like they would be crazy not to let you into Team Rocket. I mean, come
Exactly.
on now. That would be
And-
interesting.
We'll be passing notes to each other just like orange is the new black.
Oh, we don't have to pass notes. We can pass thoughts.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
And,
I
uh,
think that'd be fun if that's what you decide to do.
right? So it's
Oh,
we're good.
That'd be really fun actually. And then you would have to give some
And-
sort of signal, and then you'd pounce and light everything on fire.
Chase
Because
would
we
be lit
would
on fire.
feel-
That's the signal. He would be a burning man. And that's your signal.
One person does electricity,
Cool.
one person does water, one person will be like the Planeteers.
Nice.
Hey.
Nah, that sounds too familiar.
although Tiffany can make some outfits. Do we need even to like join in preparation? We could just like show up one day, just have our little hats, just low.
Big R on our shirt.
Kyle, sweetie, I do cosplay. Don't ask.
Just act like you belong. They're just like, oh, another grunt, go over there, do that.
Hey, I have a 5 in Guile. I think I could pull it off.
But could ever?
Oh, you probably absolutely could. Yeah. No. I think Tiffany's probably got the best chance of getting in. To be honest, I mean Molly maybe with stealth, but Tiffany would just talk her way through with an R on her shirt.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some of us have to
Put
work
it
for
on
it.
your shirt.
I've got to kill a man. That's
You know, just go in with Tiffany or her arm candy.
yeah.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
are you
things go
gonna
bad.
ask Kyle to go with you?
Oh, dear
Oh
God.
God.
No.
Oh dear God. You're gonna have him try
No,
to
no,
That
we'll
would
do
be wild.
date. And
That
then
would
if he
be
ever sees the costume,
hilarious.
we'll explain it.
I think that would be
No,
hilarious.
no, sweetie, I didn't join. I just infiltrated. You understand, right? You do undercover work. Come on.
Or
That is
Don't break up
that
with
would be
me.
funny. I don't think it'd be. I don't know if it would be practical for him to do it too, but I think it'd be hilarious.
No, he is cavalry. If everything goes
That's
wrong,
true.
oh gee.
bring in the Jennies. Just saying.
They're the backup. Okay.
Or that would be
Alright,
Tiffany's
well.
plan.
This will be a very interesting planning period if that's the case.
Yeah. Well, see, the issue is like first we have to do it over Discord or whatever and get everything figured out, and then we have to do it in character.
Yeah.
So like, see if we can actually get our characters to agree to certain things, or just be Chase and do it on his own.
Actually, speaking of Dream World, since we've kind of been jumping a lot, anyone's disappointed Kyle not there? And also / excited that maybe the Pokemon can join them next time?
I was gonna say Deja Vu could probably bring Kyle in. That's what I thought she was getting at.
Yeah,
Maybe I
I just
completely
know our
misunderstood.
last session we talked about maybe he'd show up,
Yeah.
and he didn't.
Yeah.
Maybe if you appease the gods, they might be able to give you a little something something. Maybe.
I'm slightly disappointed because it seemed like he had his own door and everything,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I kind of like the fact that we're special.
Yes,
You know?
I do too. Also, there's that other group. They're doors. So you might have something to do with that.
Ooh, do they have doors?
Splicers.
Tell us what happened, Arceus.
You'll see. You'll see eventually.
Oh,
You'll see.
no. They're all being tight-lipped.
Yeah, they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be.
We're not. We're just talking spoilers.
Yeah, no,
Exactly.
Yeah, I highly suggest that big chunk of just exposition
that,
inside vlog can be removed for the vlog. If we do
No.
this.
The fact that you guys get to play a full campaign means that they get to have something, and that something is they get to know stuff you don't know. So.
Oh, as a former baby legacy.
Mhm.